What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another BTR video.
So we got our mid-season NBA tier list, and so we're gonna just rank the teams how post All-Star break now. Obviously, unofficial second half of the year for the NBA season. We're gonna just put them S to F. We're gonna base it off preseason expectations, their regular season performance so far, and then obviously those are two really.
Before
things,
we
right?
continue, a couple of things. One, we're filming this on All-Star weekend, so that's just a FYI. When we don't know when we're releasing this yet. Number two, make sure you guys like the video, comment what your thoughts are on the video below, and subscribe. Help us get to that 500 goal we're looking for. But yeah, and we'll continue doing more videos like this in the future. But let's just get right into it.
And yeah, I'll start off with the Boston Celtics.
Take the easy one, right?
Yes, I'm picking the easy one. They're an S tier team, been the best team in basketball, clearly most well-rounded team in basketball as well, on and off on the court, obviously on paper as well. They've been performing like it too. Yeah, they're one of the big contenders for the NBA trophy, NBA playoffs, and what was it called? The Larry O'Brien. Yeah. All right, I just tripped.
I get the next easy one. It's the Detroit Pistons, and they're gonna go to F.
Yeah, don't shit talk me. Easy one. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get the next easy one. The Detroit Pistons. Simple. They had a 28-game losing streak or whatever it was, and nothing much to say. They're still in single-digit wins, which is not really great at this point. But the good news is you tripled or quadrupled your win total from that 28-game losing streak, because they were at 2 wins at that time before they got their third. Now they're at 8.
Yeah, so they're really playing good.
For their expectations.
All right, the Cavaliers, they're going to be an A-tier team for me. Reason being, they started off poorly, but ever since then, they've been incredible. They're around in our probably preseason or B or A range, so they just solidified an A spot.
They're A easily. Sure. Only reason why they're not S is because they're 6 games behind the Celtics. But without Mobley and Garland, and Donovan Mitchell is playing like an MVP candidate, they have to be A. They're second in the conference right now. Simple as that. OKC, S. We made a video on them. Make sure you guys check that out of why we
That's why it's an S.
But no, it's no one thought they were fighting. Right now, they're a game and a half of first right now, so they kind of been a little dwindling. I've been up and down lately, but outside of that, like no one thought, like they were the jump team. We had them and the Pacers. The difference between the two teams are this team was first and second for most of the year. MVP candidate, probably my favorite, in Shea. Not disrespecting anyone else, but yeah, by far no debates about it. No one thought they were going to be this good. Are they NBA contenders yet? No, but this is strictly based on the regular season.
But we give you 3 reasons why they will be an NBA contender. Every Raptors fan dream is hoping that Shea requests a trade to Toronto, aka my dream.
Not gonna happen.
All right, F tier team, Washington Wizards. They got rid of everybody in the offseason. They were doing everything that we expect them to do. Jordan Poole is obviously proving that contract is terrible, and they also fired their coach.
Listen, no expectations. They're rebuilding. They might trade Kuzma in the offseason. It's fine.
Yeah, you're bad.
They were just worse than we thought they were gonna be at. But yeah,
honestly, good thing you're bad. You got the Heat.
B, 7th. They, right before the Terry Rozier trade, and then a little bit afterwards, had a massive losing streak. They were surprising me at the beginning. I thought this was where they were gonna be exactly. They were gonna be a play-in team. They just need to get into the playoffs, and we know what happens when Jimmy Butler's in the playoffs. But yeah, B tier team. I still think they'll be fine when the playoffs come, but based on the regular season, this is where I thought they're exactly where they were going to be at.
All right, I got the Knicks. Knicks I'm putting at A tier as well. They're right behind they're in the Bucks and Cavs range as well. I don't know why I switched them. But yeah, the New York Knicks, they've been pretty good. Obviously, injuries taking a hit on them, so they haven't been good recently.
4-game losing streak.
But before that, they've played really well, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, the OG Anunoby trade fit like a glove, and now you made that trade for Bogdanovich as well, and also getting Alec Burks back, which is going to be good depth pieces for you guys as well. And then we can't say enough about Jalen Brunson. Man's been incredible. Well-deserved All-Star for him as well. And yeah, the Knicks, like at the beginning of the year, like, okay, Celtics and Bucks, right?
Yeah, they're on the tier of their own.
They're on the tier of their own, but now Celtics are on the tier of their own. And the Bucks, Cavs, and Knicks are on the second tier for the Eastern Conference. You got the Timberwolves.
Yes, simple as that. I thought me and you, I think we both had them missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? Or barely in the 10th seed. Maybe I had them in the 10th. I don't fully remember. But yeah, S. They're top of the conference as of right now. Defense has been one of the best in the league. Rudy Gobert is probably a defensive Defensive Player of the Year candidate. We thought Cat was probably gonna get traded. Instead, our thing was how they're gonna play with the two big man combo. It was not. That was our biggest gripe with that trade and everything. They're making it work. Anthony Edwards, maybe not a superstar yet, but he's probably on his way there. Yeah, not much to say. They've been playing well defensively. Do I think they'll dwindle a little bit? That's just me. I'm not fully bought into that team yet, but as of right now, I give him all the respect. And Cat has been playing like a monster, of showing why he's one of the best big men in the league.
All right, I got the Bucks, and I'm putting him in B. But the reason why I'll put him in S, Doc Rivers in 3 games, or now probably like 5 or 6, is an all-star head coach. That is some GOAT status right there.
Okay. It was by technicality because they were at the time second in the conference when it was announced. Technically, it should be JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, it should
Technically
be.
now, at this recording moment, it should be JB Bickerstaff. When they got Doc, I think they only have 1 win, if I'm not mistaken, one or two wins.
Basically,
So
they fired.
obviously you were joking about what you're saying, but
They were 30-13. They fired Adrian Griffin. They brought in Doc Rivers. Obviously, hasn't helped them much yet. The Bucks have been disappointing. All right, Dame and Giannis duo hasn't been the duo that we expected him to be, which is the best duo in the league. And
we'll give him time because Ty Lue took some time with Harden. Not saying Ty Lue and Doc Rivers are the exact same tier of head coach at this point of their careers, but give them a little bit of time because systems obviously are going to change accordingly.
You got the Nuggets.
Obviously Jamal was injured at the beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken. But, again, last year, chips fell in the right way for them. This year, if they're still a top team, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, there's a lot of other teams in the same category right now. But A is fair because they're still doing this. Jokic is, again, one of the MVP favorites at this point as well, along with Shea and probably Giannis. But, at the moment, they're 4th seed. But give 2-3 games later, they could easily be the first seed in the conference.
This worked out perfectly. I got the Raptors.
All right. Okay, when the Lakers come to mind.
No, we're following the order.
No, we're not.
We're following the order.
Go.
All right, Raptors. Obviously, they're D tier. D tier. They suck. And it's painful.
At least you guys picked a direction.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Somewhat.
We somewhat picked a direction.
Because Olenek might get extended.
Exactly. But we gave the keys to Scotty now. All right, Pascal and OG are gone. Brought in quickly another young guard. Guard Jabert's young himself. And kind of a young trio that you could, build around a little bit here with Scotty, RJ, and Emmanuel quickly. And they played pretty well together, right? It's just that everything else around
it's going to take time.
Yeah.
Raptors fan wanted to rebuild. Get ready to embrace it. Yeah. That's all it is.
The LA Clippers.
For me, they're an A-tier team.
Your new favorite?
No, don't never say that. They're the A-tier team. It could easily have been S. But again, I think they're an A-tier team because their start wasn't the greatest. They had, obviously, when they brought in Harden, it took time. But now the time they needed is passed up. And they're easily an S-tier team from this point. From this point on, there should be an S-tier team. I get that. They'll probably finish the best in the conference, in my opinion, because that's how good they have been. T. Lue, obviously, has got that team rolling. They're the favorites coming out of the West, in my opinion. Sorry, Nuggets fans. But right now they're only A because they are below the top 2 teams, which are in the S tier. And those 2 teams were not projected to be in the S tier anyways. Even before the Harden trade, they should have been better than they were. Because you have those 2 guys in PG and Kawhi and somewhat Russell Westbrook, I guess. But by the end of the season, I won't be surprised they're an S-tier team. But right now, they're an A-tier team for me.
The Orlando Magic, for me, have been one of the biggest surprises in the NBA. This is a team that I thought were a lock on 11 to 13 seed. Obviously, they've fallen off. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're 8th now.
They're 8th now. But at one point, these guys were 4th.
Second even, I think.
Second even, right? And what they have done, Ben Carroll's been incredible in his second year. Obviously, Jalen Suggs has stepped up a lot as well. And then you got
Franz
Wagner, who's obviously a stud himself. Yeah, the Orlando Magic, they've definitely, they're on that trajectory of like what the Thunder are doing. They're on the, like a young squad. They're learning, they're getting better, and they're getting their magic back. That was cringe.
No pun intended, or is that pun intended?
I don't know. That was you got the Warriors. Let's move
on. D tier. They're turning it around slightly, but they're D tier because they have no business being outside the play-in for how long they've been. Yes, currently at the time of this recording, they're in it, but again, I was disappointed they didn't make any moves at the deadline. However, you still have Stephen Curry. I've always said you'll always have a chance with Stephen Curry. Basketball is a game of runs and hot streak, and Steph Curry's one of those dudes that could. Now, those dudes that could do that, but unfortunately, the 2 games when Steph did drop 60, you lost. When Steph did not drop 60, or you dropped less than 20 even or 30 even, you guys won those games. So it's kind of weird.
So
but at the end of the day,
Steph needs to play like shit.
okay, no.
Like
Steph draws way too much attention to get others to exceed their expectations.
you need Clay to drop 35 off the bench and Steph to drop 4.
No, their biggest X factor is Kuminga. If Kuminga is gonna keep playing like how he is, they'll probably be in a playoff spot for sure. If Kuminga's gonna drop off, then they've got to hope Wiggins is gonna emerge even more than he has been right now, because he is getting better as the season went on. But yeah, for D tier team right now, because I thought they were comfortably gonna be in a 7-8 spot, they were for the most part at the 11, currently on 10. But yeah,
Yeah, we really like avoiding the C tier team. But the Pelicans are not a C tier team.
no,
The Pelicans are A.
we're not getting a C tier team for a while.
Yeah. Right, they're A in my books. I mean, no, I missed them up. They're B.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought they were like top 3 for some reason.
No,
I
no,
mixed
no,
them
no,
up.
no.
All right, they're B tier team. One thing that I want to put them in A, Zion is proving that you don't need a proper diet to play this good.
No, you kind of do, because
I
you'll
know.
probably get injured.
Yeah, I know that's true. But they've been good. Their core is finally playing together, right? Which has been their biggest issue, because last year they were like the second team, right? There was the second seed, and they've fallen off
Then
because
Zion and B.I. got hurt.
Zion got hurt, Brandon Ingram got hurt. Then obviously this year you had McCollum out for a bit, but now he's back, and now we finally get to see these 3 players play together.
And they have a good core around them. Herb Jones, obviously potential defensive player of the year candidacies in the future. Candidate in the futures. Maybe not this year, but just in general, like defensive team for sure. You have Trey Murphy, who's been playing well for them. Jordan Hawkins has been playing well for them. But yeah, they're a B tier team though, because again, this could shape up where they could easily be in a play-in, and they're an injury away from
You're
literally
forgetting their
falling
best
out.
player, Grand Theft Alvarado.
Yeah.
Right.
No, sure.
Okay.
But I got
You
Pacers.
got Pacers, yeah.
And they're also B tier team. This is exactly where we thought they were gonna be.
Yeah.
They were the jump team that we thought the Thunder and them were gonna be, but Thunder obviously exceeded our expectations. They've met it / slightly exceeded, because you could have argued 7-8 seed for them. They're currently in the 6th seed, and unfortunately, Embiid is injured. They might even rise to the 5th seed if they need to.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
of it.
Yeah, they could definitely go up as well. Now they added Siakam. Siakam fit
Yeah.
pretty well. He's been playing well there. as
Yeah,
well.
him and once Halliburton got healthy, which he is now, there'll be one of the funner duos to watch in the league for sure. And then you added a little bit of defensive versatility with Siakam. They still, I think, needed to add more defenders, but we'll see how it goes. But they'll be a fun team to watch.
The 76ers are a B tier team.
Yeah.
Yeah, no C tier teams for sure. The Sixers, honestly, they would be A tier right now if Embiid wasn't hurt. Right, they'll definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
They'll definitely be way better than they are right now.
Embiid was MVP favorite in my opinion.
Yeah, that's for sure. He had it on locks if he met the 65 game threshold, and he's not going to. And it's been a big mess. You add in the Kyle Lowry, which is a great ad from the buyout market,
But it doesn't. replace
but
Embiid.
it's not gonna replace Embiid. And yeah, so Tyrese Maxey is gonna have to really
And
carry
Buddy
the
Hill
load.
might have to shoot every shot in.
Exactly. You got the Hawks.
I'm dwindling between C or D, but I really thought they were going to be much better this year. And I know there was a lot of trade rumors with DeJounte Murray and stuff, but because they're the 10th seed and they're only a game and a half clear of missing, I have to give them a D tier spot. Now, I'm taking the whole season into account. If this was the last little bit, if it looks like DeJounte, Trae Young, and the rest of these guys, and Trae Young's an all-star. He proved to everybody that he's better than he was last year. And we'll see how it goes, right? But we're hearing trade rumors of one of those 2 guards is going to get traded. Neither did right now, which I'm kind of glad they didn't. But we'll see how that turns out in the offseason. But they're a D tier team only because I thought they were going to be better than the Magic. I thought they're a contender for at least a 6th seed, right? Right now they're looking like they could miss it, depending on how Brooklyn will do. But yeah, I think D tier is fair, in my opinion.
I got the Charlotte Hornets. I'll put them in D tier. Reason being is that Brandon Miller has emerged. Right, LaMelo Ball is still LaMelo Ball. Like they have pieces, right? They did well in the trade deadline or trades in general because they got a first for Rozier, right?
A first for
Hayward, or is it?
I don't know if it was a first, but they got rid of they got Trey Mann out of it.
Yeah, they got Trey Mann out of Hayward, right? They cleared cap,
Yeah,
as well. Obviously, Lowry was a part of the trade. He got bought out as well. So they're finally like, kind of, they're healthy. They got rid of, some weak links. They got money. So they could make some steps in the offseason. Other than that, their performance on court would probably be F, but then what they did off court, it deserves a D for me.
Yeah. Chicago Bulls are the first C tier team. They're better than the Hawks right now. They've been playing well. Kobe White has emerged. Again, they're a loser in a different sense of what you said about the Hornets. For me, they're the loser in terms of trade deadline. But we're not reflecting that too much into what their regular season play is. There should be comfortably in a play-in spot, in my opinion. They've been playing well. Zach LaVine is unfortunately out for the year, but DeMar DeRozan, Kobe White, like I said, have been playing well for them. And we'll see how they go. I think at the most they're gonna make the play-in and just get bounced out either in the play-in or by the Celtics.
The Bulls' biggest issue is that they believe Caruso is as untouchable as Jordan was.
Yeah. They
He's
believe
not.
that this core is gonna help them win, which we all know it isn't.
It's
You
not.
should take the value of your most valuable player, which is Alex Caruso, whose 3-point shooting has been elite this year based on other years, and you don't know if that's gonna happen next year. And obviously he was an all-defensive player, so you should have taken advantage of that. But as a team in general, they've been fine. They've been better than I thought they were gonna be. That they were gonna miss the play-in completely. They're in a play-in spot. There should be a play-in team. C is fair.
Another team that I'm putting the C is the Utah Jazz. Everything I expected for the Jazz, they were
Much better than I thought.
I thought they were a C tier team from the beginning around. I think.
I thought they were a 13 seed for sure.
Yeah.
Like essentially.
I don't know, but it's proving that what they did last year wasn't it was again it was kind of similar.
They sold a little.
Yeah.
Right now.
The thing is this, right? Last year they obviously started off high, then they dropped down and down, right? This year they've just been at that same level the whole time. I just feel like the last 2 years have been pretty similar. It was pretty good compared to what we thought they were going to be, especially when you get rid of in the off season you got rid of Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, and
That was 2 years ago.
yeah. So that's what.
Oh
I meant.
yeah. Okay.
So that in the last 2 years they've been
Yeah.
pretty
Sorry,
decent.
My bad.
Yeah. So the Jazz, I think, C tier is obviously mid. They've been mid.
Yeah. I thought they were gonna be a D tier team this year. I know they got rid of some pieces in the trade.
Yeah. They also got John Collins.
Yeah.
They have Colin Sexton, who's healthy this year.
Yeah.
Markkinen obviously carrying on what he did from the previous year as well. So yeah, that's Jazz. You got the Mavericks.
B tier team.
Our B tier's getting filled up.
Yeah, but a lot of teams have been just mad. It's because of the play-in. That's a factor in this.
It's also because of the white spaces as well. It's
That
taking up
too.
a lot of space.
But no,
Covering up a
I
lot
think
of-
they're a B tier team because I still think I love the. I thought if it wasn't for that Knicks trade, they won the trade deadline, right? At least from the Western Conference, fine, they won the trade deadline out of the Western teams. Because of that, I feel like they're gonna make a playoff team. Anyways, again, we're not basing this on projection too much, but they're only 1 game off sixth, right? They're 1 game off fifth, not even sixth, just sixth, right? And Luka, again, MVP candidate, probably top 5 for sure this year as well, and they'll be fine. I think that the moves they added will make them better. Daniel Gafford, the 2-3 games he's played has been massive, like just rebounding and putting buckets back in and all that. So yeah, they're a B tier team, but again, I think that's fair. I don't think they're near the Jazz or the Bulls at all.
No, they're way better. The Brooklyn Nets are a D tier team. They're out of the play-in spot right now. They have no direction. That's also one of the big things. Yes, Mikal Bridges is sick, right? Cam Thomas is sick. They're good players, but they're not championship, number 1 option players. They're not championship number 2 option players, and you just kind of are like that. You're stuck type of thing, right? They're gonna bring you value, but you decide not to move on from them, and as a result of that, you're out of the play-in spot as well. So haven't been good. There's nothing to say. They haven't been good. All right, you got the Rockets.
And I got the Lakers.
No, you don't.
The Rockets are a C tier team. I thought they were going to be better than last year. They were, for the most part. They were in a play-in spot. They're kind of going back down to earth. But clearly the veteran route they went with Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, Jeff Green, clearly helped the young guys a little bit. Yes, Jalen Green should be better than he is as a second overall pick. But Alperen Sengun is emerging as a star in this league. Not saying he's a superstar or an all-star, but he's emerging as a star. He could have been an all-star easily this year if the voters and all that went the right way. Dylan Brooks is proving that like listen, the antics might be there, but he's still one of the top defenders in this league. No matter what you want to say about him, it's just he was just being memed on the shooting. Shooting got better. Fred VanVleet is the ultimate vet you could get. Championship experience. Obviously, he got paid there. That's the big factor. But yeah, like you added some quality vets for that young team, and for the most part, you guys were in a play-in spot. Unfortunately, I don't think you guys will make it anymore. But I think C is fair. They will definitely beat your expectations. I know that much.
Oh yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. C is definitely true. I got the Lakers. All right, go.
Okay, C tier as well. People are Warriors fans are gonna be like, oh, what's the difference between them and the Warriors? One, they won the play-in championship. I'm not overvaluing that. If I would have put them higher. But the thing is that they showed that they could play the big games and win. It was unfortunately after the play-ins that that in-season tournament where you guys started being bad. But recently they've been picking it up again, and they're only like 2.5 games off sixth, out of sixth. So and they had a relatively healthy AD this year, who, if it weren't for the record, could be in MVP conversations. I don't think he is because of that. But DPOY wise, he could still have an argument there. But overall, as a team, Darvin Ham finally figured out their lineup that works. Just hopefully they stay healthy and he just doesn't mess things up. But yeah, C is, I think, fair. They're in a play-in spot. They could easily be in a playoff spot by the end of the year.
We all know you're internally stressed right now, just talking about your team.
Yeah, but hey, right now, good. We're on All-Star break. I'm happy.
Yeah, because you don't watch them.
Exactly.
You don't get to watch. All right, I got the Grizzlies. They're going D tier. Obviously, Ja makes a difference. It makes a massive difference. And we clearly seen what this team was with Ja in the lineup and without it.
This year specifically.
And obviously, Desmond Bane's been injured, right?
Right now, they don't have anyone playing.
They have no... They had a team with 8... Right? Like, they only had 8 players on the...
That was against the Celtics when Marcus Smart is injured too.
Yeah, Marcus Smart's injured too.
I remember because that was his return to the Celtics. Yeah, overall, like, we thought at the beginning of the year, they would handle... Like, they were healthy in the beginning of the year.
They'll be fine, yeah.
When Ja comes back, we'll see they were atrocious at the beginning of the year. Like, they would have been an F-tier team. Ja comes back, they got a couple of wins, then Ja is out of the year. Yeah, unfortunately, they're not. Might be a good year for them to be bad because they might get a top pick, whether they move it or not, or they just pick someone, and they'll be.
Is it really good? It's a weak draft class.
Well, at the end of the day,
they would have preferred it last year.
No.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is sometimes you just want the top role player in a draft class, like how
That's
Mikal
true.
Bridges was, right?
Yeah.
That could complement them, and this is a year for them. This isn't like the Hornets who would probably need more of a guy, or the Wizards. Right.
The Wizards need a guy. Like
Hornets, right. I don't think the Grizzlies need a guy in this. Like, I listen to Pee Wee the plug all the time on numbers on the board because he's a guy who follows draft classes a lot and he's usually spot on things. Yeah, and this is not a draft class where you need a superstar. They already have their
guy,
emerging superstar, and they have solid players around them. So yeah, but unfortunately, this is based on this year. They're a D tier team, and then they would probably stick D tier because everyone's literally hurt.
Who has the Suns?
You do.
I do?
Because I did Lakers in a row with the Rockets.
Okay. Yeah, Suns. I'm gonna give them B. Reason being, their big three haven't been healthy. They've obviously were disappointing at the beginning as well, but now they're healthy and they've been picking it up recently. They've been playing well. Obviously, Beal is not injured, which is the big factor. Booker's doing Booker things. Durant's doing Durant things. Right? At the end of the day, when you have all three of those guys doing their thing, it's gonna be a tough time.
Yeah.
To be bad.
Like, obviously,
for the Suns,
they're gonna be A by the end of this year comes. I think, like I said, we talked about it last podcast episode when we were talking about NBA teams. That who's the best team in the West is clearly between overall, including projection wise, is between the two teams in A right now, which is the Nuggets, Clippers, and then throwing the Suns in there as well. It's because of the injuries early on and those losses, but now they've definitely figured a lot of things out. They're comfortably in the 5th seed in I mean. Not comfortably, but I think they'll be comfortably a top 4 or 5 team in the West anyways, projecting that. You have Frank Vogel as your coach. He's a defensive guy. Hopefully they're bought in defensively. I know they don't have... Frank Vogel doesn't have the defensive pieces like he was with the Lakers when they won the championship in 2020, but right now you added in Royce O'Neal, which will help your lineup. You have a gritty guy there. Kevin Durant's not an amazing defender, but he's a capable defender. I think.
Bro, when you have that much length...
Yeah, exactly.
You're useful.
Booker's a capable defender when he needs to be.
Booker's picked it up a lot as well.
Yeah, like
defensively.
People said
They're
he was a
deep.
bad defensive player because he was winning on the 15 and the math, whatever equals to 82 Suns. No one's gonna try on defense if you're gonna be that bad, anyways. Then
Yeah, no, all he did was save his energy to get 70 points against the Celtics
and lose, but
and lose.
yeah, but no, fair. They're B
Alright,
tier.
You got
Yeah.
Portland.
D tier for me. I just think they were gonna be by far easily the worst. I thought they were gonna be what the Pistons were in the West. They're not. That's the Spurs, which we'll talk about them in a second. But 15 wins at this point, fair. I thought they were gonna hit 20 wins to close out the year. They literally have no one playing that's a superstar level. Anthony Simons is the guy there. Scoot Henderson has been disappointing, but he's been picking it up a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. But for me, I think D is fair. Nothing much to say for them.
Now that I'm looking at it, should we move the Warriors up to C?
But expectation-wise, Warriors were
Yeah, I know,
out
but
of
like,
it.
they like we already know the 10 teams. Like at this rate, like
yeah,
the
I mean,
way
it's up to you if you want to.
I would move them up to C, personally, just because they have been better recently, and it's gonna be clear that they're in a playing spot. It's still clear. Like there's no one catching up to them. Also, it's me, right? Kings. Kings. I'm gonna go with C. They've been pretty disappointing compared to what they were last year. Their offense hasn't been, as good. Obviously, defensively, they're not the greatest either. I feel like the highlight of the Kings year, obviously, Fox and Sabonis have been good. Like they should have been, like one of them should have been an All-Star for sure. But to me, the personal highlight for the Kings this year is Mike Brown doing a film study in the press conference.
Yeah, that was funny. But I mean, I could argue B still because they're only half a game behind the Mavericks, realistically, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not moving the Mavericks down to C because I don't think they deserve to be. So that's why I want to move the Kings up to B, because they're right there. They're only a game and a half out of a 6 seed. That's how close it is. I think they've been the better team than the Lakers and the Warriors this year for most of the year. So because of that, I think they're a B tier team.
Yeah,
I don't want to put them there. If you're gonna move up the Warriors to C, then you have to move up the Kings to B, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, that's fair then. Yeah, I'll give it to you. All right, last, but
The last F team.
definitely least, I guess.
Yeah, it's the Spurs. I was a little bit optimistic that they'll be a 10th seed, or at least fighting for a 10th seed. I think I ultimately said they'll be 11th seed. They've been pretty bad. And when you have a guy like Victor Wembanyama on your team, yes, he's a rookie. Don't get me wrong. He's still balling. He literally put a triple-double with blocks against your Raptors.
Yeah.
Right? So you would think that your team would still be like where the Rockets are at the minimum. Unfortunately, that was not the case. And you guys, that's the reason why you're F. Because at once upon a time, you and the Pistons were fighting for who's the worst team in basketball. The reason why you didn't get talked about much, the Pistons had a longer losing streak
The
going.
Pistons were historically
They're-
garbage.
Exactly. So
The worst part of the Spurs team is that Wemby's doing whatever we expect.
like he's
Wemby
probably
to
gonna win
do.
Rookie of the Year.
Like Wemby's doing whatever we
Yeah.
expect him to do, and you're still losing.
Yeah.
So I don't get that. Yeah.
So because that's the reason why they're F. If not, you could have put them in D if you really, really wanted to. But they're the worst team in the conference. I thought the Blazers would be much worse than them. That's not the case. I think they're 4 games better, in fact. So yeah, I think they're an F tier team. I thought they should have been a better team. Usually when you get a guy like that, we've seen like teams get better when they get the first overall pick. A lot of that has been playing at a superstar level. I guess sometimes, not saying all the time, but yeah, but that's what I think.
All right, so that's our list. I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
MLB, the NBA is a little tough with it just because the play-in is an aspect of it.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I expect some changes to be made by the end of the year. Personally, like I could see the Lakers and Warriors going up to a B, or even an A. By the time the playoffs come, I could see one of those teams dropping because that's how close everything has been this year as well, especially in the Western Conference. But yeah, that's our list. Make sure you guys. Hopefully you guys like it, so hit the like button if you do. Comment what you guys think down below, what your favorite team is, where do you think they're ranked, are we stupid, are we not stupid, and then subscribe, and we'll drop more tier lists as we can. Check out our NBA the beginning of the season tier list to see how it's being compared, what the comparables are there, and check out all of our other sports tier lists as well, because we're a multi-sports channel, and I hope some of you guys watching are multi-sports people as well. And other than that, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.